Hi guys, Dave and Tex here. What we got is a nice little Strat copy. It's called a S101 Standard. One of those brands out of China, I'm sure. But the owner is kind of new to guitars. He said it plays okay. I had a chance to play it before I start working on it, but we'll see. Now it's got this tail down really hard on this thing, so I don't think he wants to bend it much. So we'll keep that in mind when we do this workup on it. And we'll go ahead and get these strings off here, get them loosened up just slightly so we can cut them free and throw those away. Put some new ones on here for him. I noticed that he's skipped one of the string trees when he put the strings on here. He's got to put one in. We'll make sure to get that taken care of for him. Alrighty. As y'all know, the first things first, I always cut these strings away, roll them into a circle, and throw them away. Alrighty? So first things first. Okay, now I've already checked the neck on this guitar, and it's fine. There's a tiny bit of relief, not much. And there's no string buzz, no fret buzz. So that's not really an issue here. But it also could be set for the action a whole lot lower. Because really it's kind of high at the moment. It's like 864s. And I want to get down to that. I want to get that down to 464s at the best I can do. If it can be done, I can't guarantee it. But I think with a straight neck I can get this thing done pretty well. And make him real happy with his player. Alright, we'll actually turn it into a player. So, let's bang the camera around a bit. Let's get these strings out of the back of it if we can without taking the guard off. So we might be able to do that. But I will take that guard off here in a bit, as well as the trim arm on it. Get that squared away, so we have no problems. Okay, one more string to go. And this core's bent. There she comes. Alright, so those are all out of there. Okay. Put those into a nice circle. Don't get jammed by one of them. Just like that, right? Do it one more time. And that way somebody's silly enough to put their hand or foot down into the waste basket, you make it last a little longer. Don't get stuck by one of those strings. Now, next thing I do is figure out how this bar goes in here. Is it screw on? Or, yeah, screw on. Okay. So let's go ahead and get the bar off. Set that aside for now. Let's go ahead and just do this now so we're working with it. Let's get that back plate off. And next we'll go ahead and check the springs on it. So hang in there. Okay, what's the first thing you see that's a problem here, guys? They got a spring in here set up incorrectly. Alright, two of them actually. You don't want to form a TP with these things. You don't want to form that shape that you see there. What you want is a equal distance on this thing so it'll play properly. Show you how that's done real quick. First of all, get the pressure off the spring. Easiest way is take it out here at this right here. Get this ground wire out of the way, and then put it right back in, directly across where it belongs. Not forming a triangle, just like that. All right. First steps first. Okay. Second one. Get this out of here. Put it back where it belongs and back in the right spot, right like that. So now those are in the right position. All right. Now, as I said before, this thing's been tightened down to the limit almost. If these carriage bolts were actually touching the smooth carriage part, that means it's a complete lockdown and that whammy bar is going nowhere. Alright, but right at the moment it's just kind of set up, to where it's just really hard to work with, and kind of fights the purpose of having a whammy bar on it. which I understand he doesn't play very much. He didn't like the whammy bar that much, but we'll see. We can always make adjustments later when it comes to picking the guitar up. Bridge, nothing. All right, now obviously on these this type of bridge, you want it to be square with the body of the guitar on the same plane, kind of parallel like this. All right, you don't want it up too high, you don't want it below, and this is a pretty good setting right here. And you've only got one or two of these saddles that's incorrect. In that you've got one side of the saddle lower than our side, which causes the string to go in one direction or the other on the saddle. That you don't want. You want them both to be exactly the same height. Both these screws to be exactly the same height and follow a radius that the neck is. Okie dokie. Now, next step. I've already checked the truss rod and it works. Okie dokie. Next step is clean these frets off, and what I'll be doing and using are what's called fret erasers. A set of them. I start off with a 220 grit and go right to a 1200. And what that does, it takes those micro abrasions and scratches off this guitar's frets, makes it play nice. Look at this, guys. This is actually taking a lot of that surface contact off of this. And I wish you could tell a difference. I wish my camera was more sensitive to this. Let's see if I can get a better close-up of this so you can tell the difference. You kind of can see on the second fret those old original markings on it, right? Where the string is worn. On the first fret they're all gone. Now watch, well, these disappear too. I know there's not a lot of color contrast for the camera, but for my eye it's a tremendous difference. That's the best I can get it, guys. Sorry. Gone. Alright, you'll see those little things disappear. There they go. That's what we want. That means just clean this thing off. Anytime you're playing with clean frets, trust me, that guitar plays nicer and feels better. And as soon as the camera calms down, you'll see they are gone. Yes. And you look over to the next fret, you can still see them there. Alright? See this one here, this one here, this one here, and on down. But the one above it, they're all gone. Now, that's not the only thing I do on these. I also take a 1200 to finish off the polish, which I used to take steel wool, 4/0 steel wool, and finish up the polish up job, you know, for any micro scratches that the this 220 grip leaves on there. Okay, so hang in there. Okay, time to do these frets. David, delete all the rest of it behind it. Okay, well, I forgot to turn the camera on. I've already done these first two. What you're going to see, guys, I'm using this 220 grit McDonald's that were given to me as a gift. Thank you very much. And I'm going to erase this fret. And you'll see these little dark rings or bands disappear on the fret itself. And that's what we want. Alright. Now you see that they're gone. Okay? Let's go down to the next one. You can see them still kind of there. See a little dark one here and here and here and here, right? Right in line with the strings. Now, second thing I do, I take this 1200 and go back over it for the final polish up. Now I used to use 4/0 steel wool for the final polish up on this, but with these it's not necessary. Okay? Now I'm not going to bore you to tears by showing each one of these I do. I mean, that'd drive me nuts. Okay, guys, you may not be able to see it, but if you look close, what I've used to get off this finger schmutz off this fretboard has not gotten off that caked in dirt yet. Now, I don't want to use anything chemically abrasive, alright, and give this thing any more a hard time than I have to. But that dirt's got to come off there. That's finger dirt. See this? That's not wood. Get in the camera here. That black stuff there is not wood, that's dirt. Alright, that's finger. Okay, that's dead skin cells, that's feces, that's urine, you name it, it's on there. And of course, before I do anything else today, I'll be washing my hands with that cleaner I keep in the shop, just for these purposes. Now, does this mean the guy's a dirty person? No, it does not. He's new to the guitar, and what he's going to have to learn in order to keep his guitar clean. See that coming off there? I just couldn't get that off with the mixture of 50-50 Windex that normally will get it off. And I think Goubion is just too strong for these guitars. The wood on this guitar, especially the lesser made models, I don't want to tax that wood on there more than I have to. Oh man, there's a ton of stuff came off that one. Could you see that? This one right here. There is a ton of that dirt come off there. Big wad of it. And that's what's sticking to this thing and not letting it get clean. Now, you ask yourself, does your guitar feel like it's kind of sticky when you're playing it? Especially when you're trying to pull a note. It's like, wow, you know. Or when you get through finished playing it, are your hands really sweaty? If they are, you need to wipe your guitar down. Okay, now this is doing a perfect job of what I want done. It's getting on that, it's getting all that caked up dirt off this fret. And there's a lot on there. And it doesn't take much, just a couple of scrapes with this razor. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure on there because I don't want to take wood off, I just want to take the dirt off this thing. Okay? So to get your point and you're cleaning up your guitar and you notice that and it's still on there, you see these indentions, it looks like indentions, they're not, it's just caked up dirt. Get you a safety razor like this one and very gently start at the very edge of the fret and just pull it backwards at 45-degree angle, and most of that dirt will just come right off there just like that. And the next thing I'll do, I'll cut away, finish up this cleanup, and I'll use the linseed oil and show you how that's done, just in case you've missed my shows in the past. So hang in there. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this oil on here, make it nice and shiny. Wow. That's some of that finger dirt that came off with the oil again. Look at that. That's pretty nasty. Anyhow, let's let that sit for about 5 or 10 minutes. Now, the trick to this is to oil your boards as necessary. All right, that's very important when you say as necessary. You want to do this every week and not necessarily every string change. That's, you know, change them every 6 months. But every 4 to 6 months, depending on the humidity of where you live. Now, if you live on a tropical island, humidity is 100% every day, you know, wow, you're going to need a dryer rather than, you know, moisture. But if you live in the desert of Arizona, New Mexico, or in the desert area of Texas, yes, you'll need to use the linseed oil more often than someone who lives in the tropics, you know. Okay, so we're gonna let that soak in, then we'll come back here with some cleaner and clean this up, give it a brief shot of that. Oh, and then it's time to string this puppy up and do the adjustments on it, get it going on its way home. Okay, time to get that excess oil off of it. And as you can imagine, not much came off, most of it stayed with the guitar. Made it look not dry anymore, give it a nice good color, this reddish, you know, rosewood. I can guarantee you now that thing is clean. Okay, all that dirt came off it. Alright, next step is to clean the guitar itself. And for that, we're going to show you what we use. This is Nomad material. Right? Just like the wax we use in Nomad. I like this stuff. Now this is polished, it's not wax, and there's a big difference. Okay? This polish is just to clean it up like any other furniture polish. It is not meant. Wow, why does it come out of here? It's not meant as a wax. Well, it's all liquid wax. It's just a cleaner, you know. Oh, it's got some stuff in it, but not much. I mean, you kind of give it a shine a bit, but not like real wax. And I do recommend you wax your guitars at least once a year, especially the acoustics, if not more than that. You know, it protects that finish on there. You know, helps to minimize that checking that goes on your guitars. That's what you want. A lot of people want that checking on their older guitars. They think it looks cool. Well, to me, it looks like a damaged, you know, finish. In my opinion, I don't like it that much. Of course, I don't like relic guitars at all. I think they look stupid. Well, of course, the real ones don't look stupid, but the ones that have been made to look real look stupid. It's like, brother, you want to wear that guitar out, play it for 20 years, knock yourself out. And this did come up looking pretty much nicer than it did. And it was. Got a lot of dirt down in this thing, but I'm not going to take it apart to clean that out. I'm just going to go in there and give it a nice brush out. Just extend this rag down in there, this towel. That dust out of there. It polished up pretty nice. Nice and shiny. Remember, that's not a wax. That's a polish. Wax takes a lot longer, and I do charge for those. Now, the back of his neck is fine. Since they're made in China. Okay, so the customer brought over these strings. Okay. Wow, he paid that for these? $9. Holy cow. So yes, we're gonna put these on there for him. Holy cow, $9. Guys, tell me that I'm wrong or crazy. Is that what these things are costing now for Super Slinkies? $9 a set? Or is that the you know, such and such gouge price? Holy cow, $9. That is outrageous. I mean, I pay like $6. Well, per set, they're $6 for Diodarius, but that's some of their best ones, I think. You know, those nice nickels. But this, dang, I'm wondering if you're just paying for the name. You know, some of you will recognize that name. So, Super Slinkies, yes. Gonna have those on my guitar and make it super slinky-ish. And that has nothing to do with it, guys. It has to do with your action. It has to do with the gauge of the strings that you put on there. Be it 9, 10, 11, 12, 8s, whatever. And how well you play those strings. Now, as usual, guys, I'm going to show you how I do this just 1 or 2 times. I got to move the camera to do this. So hang in there. And I know what you're thinking. Wow, that was sure, you know, easy and seamless to get that thing done. Get that camera over there where it belongs. What you didn't see was me drop my camera, put myself in the eye with a sharp stick, and step on my own foot and bite my lip. Okay? You didn't see that in the process. Like, you know, had the camera off. Now, my trick is to get past this big handle that's on this thing. Jeez. Reach around it somehow and get this done. Now I go up to the next little do-wah-ditty here, pull that tight, and I counter wrap it. Because now I'll make that wrap go the other way. That way the player can adjust this thing where he wants. Take that out of the shot. And I can make any adjustments to the pickups I want to make. In case something takes place, I can always unwrap these strings. So I got enough wrap to re-wrap them and not waste a string. Okay? So you see how that's done. And I always ask the owners of the guitars when they come to pick them up how they want theirs clipped. Alright, so leave these long like that for now. When he comes in, I'll ask him, does he want to cut short? Does he want to cut normal? How does he want to cut? That's all a part of playing. You don't want a thing to stick you. And you want it so short you don't see it and it sticks you. Here it is. There I go. Let's get the heck out of my shop. That's not the way we do it here. And also on the action, what you don't see off camera is that a lot of times we change the action on these guitars. I've had them go tell me, "Oh, Dad, that's too low. You know, I'm afraid I'm getting a lot of fret buzz off that." Or I want to try to get lower if I can. You mind trying lower? No, I don't mind. We'll try it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes we get fret buzz, sometimes we don't. But the whole point is, that's what a professional setup's all about. It's getting it done the way the owner of the guitar wants it done, not the way you want it done. Okay? Because the way I want it done, I want that thing bare to the minimum action on this thing, so I can just touch that string and have it sing out. As long as it's not buzzing through the amp, I don't care about fret buzz. I want it fast, you know? Easy to play and really fast. Like I said, don't show up in the amp, who cares? It buzzes all it wants to when it's not on the amp. I can hear it. Don't care then, because that's not what people are hearing, just what I'm hearing. And for practice, doesn't make any difference. Alright, one more of these, and we'll go ahead and switch away. Now, with everything I'm doing here, guys, with all the work I do here, guys, I definitely recommend one of these string winders. You know, those battery operated jobbies. Now, I've got one that's got a big old battery on it. It's got a big old chuck on it for bass guitars, but I don't use it that much. You know, come on and lock down for me. Alright, you can see there's way too much string above the nut. I was settling down into it. And there's nothing on the A string. It just soaked right into the nut. So that plastic nut has seen better days, my friend. It's kind of doing its own thing. It's not the greatest in the world. Because you want about 50% of these strings to be above the nut. So they'll ring out and have you know, longer sustain on them. But that's neither here nor there. You know, it depends what you like and what you play. You know, some people say, "Hey, I don't want that string, you know, sounding off 30 seconds after I play. I want to go dead. You know, I want to die a natural death." Okay, so next one's go underneath the string tree, and we'll cut away, make it easier for me to reach, and come back when it's time to start setting this thing up for real. All right, hang in there. Alrighty, we've got those strings on there. We got to its first tune-up attempt. Of course, it's going in and out constantly. The whole note's usually on the first wound ones. And you can see the bridge is right where it's supposed to be, nice and parallel with the body. It's not kinked up or brought, you know, forward. It's kind of on a lockdown. All right. Now, what's left to do on this guitar? The next thing to do, or I can do it, or now is the time to do it, is go ahead and adjust the pickups, and then we'll adjust the action and intonation once these strings are, you know, broken a little bit better. And not constantly changing them because the strings are going to stretch. Alrighty. Now, when we adjust pickups on a guitar, what we don't want is for the bottom of the string to be too close to that pickup. So we don't want this to lift up at all on either one of these strings. Okay. And so far, oops, somebody likes me. The back is way too low, and the fronts are too low. Next, all three were too low. They'll have to be adjusted. Hang in there, guys. Of course, you've heard me say it on my channel a million times. You want your pickup, the height of them, to be in a sweet spot. All right, not too high, not too low. That was enough. It wasn't too bad to begin with. That's good. That's good too. Let's lower these other ones. And make sure to lower the cover as we do that too. That's now good. Sorry, my hand's in the way, guys. That's now it's good. Okay, now for the back pickup, which is the worst one right at the moment. Now, if you want a nice and stratty sound, and not a full pickup, yeah, put them close to strings. But you want to hear that the whole pickup, since the humbucker usually they do. You don't adjust them this close to this thing. It's way too close. You want that in the sweet spot, right? Which is right, not there. Now the back's been adjusted, the high E, but this one is not yet. Let's bring that down some. Ah, there. Okay, so now we got the pickups adjusted. They're doing what they're supposed to do, and it'll sound the best it can sound. Okie dokie. Now that's not to say it's going to sound any better than it ever did before, but it will. Because they were having adjustment. Alright? And something as simple as that can actually, do tremendous things to a bad sounding guitar. That plus replace the pots and the pickups, but for something simple to do to, make the guitar sound better, make sure your pickups are in the right spot. Again, waiting for the strings to stretch out, and once that's done, we'll get the action set up by adjusting the saddles and the intonation as well, and then we're finished, and we'll call the guy to come get the guitar. So hang in there.